Okay, too bright.
Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report. My name is Carlos Torres, along with Fred Altvater. Every week, we check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. And Fred, today we're going to be talking about the two best players on the LPGA. But first of all, hi, how are you today?
Hey, fantastic. Glad to see you're feeling better. I know you've been struggling with the COVID virus for a couple of weeks. So sounds like you're getting back to on par from that. But yeah, we're doing good here. We're up in Cadillac and it's definitely turning fall up here. You know, weather's in the 60s and the leaves have all pretty much all turned color and they're starting to get brown and leaves are falling off. So I'm afraid winter's coming, Carlos. Hey, you're right. We're going to talk about Jin Young Ko and we're going to talk about Nelly Korda, the two best women golfers right now. Jin Young Ko is playing at a very high level right now.
Oh, she is. And definitely it's worth mentioning because when we talk about two best players in any sport, trying to see, I don't think this is going to be a rivalry per se, but maybe we can make one of it, right? Because we want to see all the time this top two best players going at it. I don't think that's going to be something that's going to happen just because of the way that both women are. I mean, they're just two very nice ladies. They just want to beat each other, but they're just not going to be making all the headlines. They're going to be doing their talking on the course. In Jin Young Ko, definitely a former number one that Nelly Korda finally was able to dethrone, right? But if we come to think about this, Jin Young Ko last year is like 2020. We have to say, okay, that was an off year. And we know
she didn't even play in the U.S. for most of the year.
She played four tournaments, the last four only. And it was because she didn't want it because of all the restrictions and all that happened. Well, she said, okay, I'm going to wait until this thing is a little bit more control. There's going to be a little less restrictions. And she did. And she not only did that, I mean, she played the last four tournaments. She started in November and what she did. First one, okay, T34. Okay, I'm just getting back into it. Then she was solo fifth, T2nd, and then what she did, she held off Se Young Kim, who was the in-form player last year at that time, to win the CME Group Tour Championship. Now, what happened this year, we can say that Nelly Korda got off to a great start. She was maybe the best player off to the summer. Right after that, she won of course, the Olympics, and at that time, you would say, well, it seems like Nelly Korda has all this wrapped up. But Jin Young Ko say, hey, not so quite. Okay, wait a minute. And what she has done is nothing short of spectacular. She has won 3 times, 3 of the last 4 tournaments that she has played for her 10th LPGA wins already. What does she has done? Okay, win T6, T2, win in the last 2 months. And she did something before the Olympics. She changed her coach. That's one of the things that she did. And she finished T9 on the Olympics. After that, she took a month off. And not only that, she changed her putter. And then when she came back, she went to Portland and she won. So those changes that she made and last 2 months, definitely she has been the player to try to seek to come back to the number one. So this race for the player of the year is not over. Both of them have won 3 times. Nelly Korda, yes, she has played only twice in the last couple of months. I heard somewhere that they were saying that Nelly is trying to, because she has played a lot of golf at the beginning of the year, but that's not so true. If you come to think about it, Jin Young Ko, if you count the Olympics, have played 17 times. Nelly has played 16. Maybe, yes, Nelly tried to play it a lot more at the beginning, but come to think about it, both have played. Jin Young has played 1 more time than her. There's only 3 tournaments left. Jin Young is going to play all 3. Nelly's going to play 2. So definitely, I mean, if you come to see the statistics right now, both have 3 wins. Jin Young Ko has 10 top 10s, and Nelly Korda has 8. Nelly Korda is number 1 right now in scoring average, and Jin Young Ko is second. So this is not settled, Fred. I think we're going to see more of this. And Nelly definitely has her hands full coming down the stretch.
You're exactly right, Carlos. You hit the nail right on the head. Nelly started off the year great. Both she and her sister won early in the year, the first 2 events of the year. And so it was all Korda's early in the year. Nelly, of course, she's got that gold medal in there too to work with. So that worked out pretty good for her. But since last December, Jin Young Ko won the CME Group Tour Championship. She won 3 times this year, the Volunteers of America Classic. She just won the Cognizant Founders. And so she's tied Annika's record for rounds in the 60s. I think it's at 13. She's going to tee it up in Korea here in a couple of weeks. She could break that record if she can shoot in the 60s in that first round. That's tremendous shooting, not being below 70 for 13 rounds in a row. That's fantastic. The streak began the final round of the Evian Championship in July. During the streak, she's logged 2 wins and a second place finish, tied for 6th. And so she's just been on a roll. Nelly Korda and she are the only 3-time winners this year, so they are the best. Jin Young Ko also, in addition to her 10 titles here, she's won 11 times in Korea since 2017. So for the last 4 or 5 years, she's been very strong. And Carlos, I love to watch her play. She is so smooth. She is one of the coolest players to watch play. Nothing is hurried. Nothing is forced. She just plays her game. She plays the way Lydia Ko used to play. That was so much fun to watch. So this is only Nelly Korda's 4th year on the LPGA. Already she has 1 major plus the Olympic gold, as I mentioned. She had 3 wins, 8 top 10s this year. She leads the race to the CME Globe and is number 1 in the world. So 2 of her wins came in June. She's fallen off slightly since July. And that's when Jin Young Ko really turned it on. So it's kind of like the tale of 2 halves, right? We got Nelly Korda first half of the year, Jin Young Ko second half. And so who's better, Carlos? If I had to pick someone to bet on, I would pick Jin Young Ko just because I consider her more consistent. Nelly will have flashes. She'll be very good. And then she won't be quite as good. It's just, but the difference is very, very slight, right? So when she's at full strength, I really think Jin Young Ko is the best, is the better player. And rounding in here to these last 3 events of the year, I look for her to grab up Player of the Year, win the CME Group again. I think she's just on a roll.
She is, and definitely looking at her play. If you see both players, right? And I'm not going to say who I prefer because everybody knows it. Since 2019, everybody knows. But anyway, if you see both players, they're very different type of players, right? Nelly is this explosive, long player. Yin Young is more of that classic all-around player. So Nelly can blast at 270 yards off the tee. He's one of the longest players on tour. While you see that Jin Young Ko, she's 74th in length, but she makes up for it when you see that she is in driving accuracy. She's on the top 10. Nelly's on the 50s. Both of them are good on the greens and regulations. Jin Young Ko is 3rd. Nelly Korda is 8th. Again, due to that great length that she has, it helps her a lot. But if you come to see, Jin Young Ko definitely is that all-around classic playmaker, shot maker that we love to see. And I think that game is made to last longer, right? Nelly she could, do it. But I think that classic game of not being that explosive, and just look at Inbay Park. How long she been doing that type of same play, right? So Jin Young Ko definitely has some years to come and continue to be dominant. And if she continues to go the way that she's done it, because she definitely started slow for what Nelly really did, because she was all consistent. So if you see that 10 top 10s is more than what Nelly has done. So like you're saying, Nelly will show you flashes when she can win and beat anybody, but Jin Young Ko is going to be more consistent. So both two players that we love to see. It's going to be great to see them. Hopefully we can see more of them in the final groups on the majors, maybe on the CME Group Tour Championship. I would just love to see that. So do you think that would be better for the game if we see that type of rivalry coming, or because we've seen it in all sports, right? And in the men, we've seen it done before. So would it be good for the LPGA?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, one of the knocks always on the LPGA Tour is, well, there's too many international players that win and Americans don't do well. Well, this year we've had Jessica Korda and we've got Nelly Korda, both playing well. Danielle Kang. We've still got Lexi Thompson, and there's 4 or 5 other American women that have played well. So that's really a good thing. Now for a rivalry, that's always good. I don't care if it's a men's game, the women's game, whatever. I think it's hard to build a rivalry for these two right now. We need to have them in the final group 2 or 3 times in big events. Then we've got a rivalry. Maybe next year when we get to the majors, if those two can be in the hunt facing off against one another, now we've got something to talk about. But right now, they're just 2 very good players, both at the top of their game, and probably one that's just a little bit better maybe is Jin Young Ko right now, and she is just so smooth. And I'll leave you with this, Carlos. You want to learn how to better your golf game? Just watch Jin Young Ko swing a golf club. Her tempo, her positions, immaculate.
And her mindset, I mean, the way that she approaches the game is incredible. But definitely, hopefully next year, when everything is going to be maybe a little bit more back to normal, because we won't have the Olympics cramming the schedule again.
Won't have a Solheim Cup.
And also we are going to have maybe a better year from the COVID situation, right? Yep. Those restrictions hopefully will be.
One can only hope.
We can only hope, definitely, but we'll see. I think that next year we'll definitely have a more back to normal on golf and everything in sports. So Nelly Korda, number 1, Jin Young Ko, number 2. I think that's going to change pretty soon, but hey, I can't wait to see what these two are going to bring. Any last words, Fred?
No, I think I covered it pretty well. We enjoy watching them play for sure.
All right. So thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our channel and also follow us on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with the latest in golf news and information. Thank you for joining.